For decades, the mothers of Plaza de Mayo have been coming to the front of the presidential palace to demand information about the whereabouts of their children who went missing during the military dictatorship in the 1970s and 80s. But on Thursday, their protest had a new anger.
What the Supreme Court did is an obscenity because we are talking about crimes against humanity that don't expire. They cannot reduce the sentences of those accused of killing our children. We will continue to fight and take this issue to all international tribunals.
A ruling by the Supreme Court on Wednesday sparked protests across the city. The judgment reduced the jail sentence of a member of a paramilitary force, Luis Muina, for crimes against humanity. It ruled that his days spent in prison before he was convicted should count double towards his sentence. The Supreme Court ruling not only benefits Luis Muina, who was part of a SWAT team involved in the torture and disappearances of people in this hospital during the dictatorship, but also hundreds of members of the police and the military who were also involved in human rights abuses and who will seek to get their sentences reduced because now there is a precedent. These protesters say a clandestine detention center operated within the hospital. Dozens gathered in the central hall to denounce the ruling.
The ruling is against the Argentine people. It's based on a law that was cancelled in 2001 and not even applied to common criminals.
Argentina tried the members of the military junta in 1985, but those detained were freed after the passing of two amnesty laws. Those laws were cancelled in 2003. That's why there are still hundreds of members of the security forces who are currently on trial for the torture and killings of thousands of left-wing political opponents. Argentina's Human Rights Secretary told Al Jazeera that the Supreme Court's ruling shows the divisions of power in the country's democracy.
If the justice system had acted on time and in the right way, it wouldn't have taken so long, and we wouldn't have people detained for human rights abuses on preventative detention. This would not be happening. We are in the middle of a big change where we are not going to tell the judiciary what to do.
But for the mothers protesting here, the ruling sends a different message. They claim the government is trying to minimize the atrocities that happened here 40 years ago. Teresa, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.